And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. You look at some of the...
China's been ripping us off for many years, ever since they started. To me, I think it was the worst thing that Richard Nixon ever did. And it was Nixon, he's the one that got it started. And they've taken advantage of it. No.
The Boeings that are coming in, well, sir, they're way behind. And they are, they're way behind. They were way behind. Another mess that I inherited from Biden.
Ever had that ex who drunk texts you at 2 a.m. with bizarre accusations? Trump just had his Air Force One version of that, complete with a rant about little girls having too many dolls. Yes, you heard that right, dolls. While most normal politicians talk about the economy or foreign policy, our former president is losing it over Barbie collections. It's like watching your toxic ex spiral in real time, except this guy wants the nuclear codes back. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. We've all had that ex who just won't let go, right? The one who texts you 6 months after the breakup to accuse you of stealing their favorite hoodie that you definitely returned. Trump just pulled the presidential version of that move on Air Force One, but instead of texting about hoodies, he's ranting about dolls. Yes, dolls.
Wall Street Journal. That's what I do. Well, you people treat us so badly. Wall Street Journal has truly gone to hell. Go ahead. Rotten newspaper. China's been ripping us off for many years, ever since they started. To me, I think it was the worst thing that Richard Nixon ever did. And it was Nixon, he's the one that got it started. And they've taken advantage of it. No.
To get it built. I took it over from the Obama administration. They had originally agreed. I got the price down much lower.
Trump's recent flight to DC wasn't filled with important policy talks or national security stuff. Nope. The big orange guy had a full meltdown about little girls having too many toys. I'm not making this up. While flying on a plane that your tax dollars pay for, Mr. Former President complained that kids these days aren't happy with just 1 or 2 dolls. They need like all the dolls. This weird doll complaint was sandwiched between made-up claims about egg prices and gas costs, because nothing says presidential material like getting angry at children's toy collections. This doll rant wasn't just Trump being Trump, it's actually his whole strategy when things go wrong. He's basically like that guy who blames McDonald's for making too many burger options instead of admitting he ordered the wrong meal. It's not my fault the country has problems. It's those greedy little girls with their doll collections. What's next? Blaming Hot Wheels for traffic jams.
So you say you want a fair deal with China. What is a fair deal look like? And you want them to...
Well, I want a fair deal with China, but China's been ripping us off for many years, so maybe something should be thought about, a little bit of retribution.
And if you take a look at that compared to the new plane of the equivalent, stature at the time, it's not even the same ballgame. You look at some of the, and it's close to 40 years old, might be more than 40 years old now. And we, when I first came in, I signed an order.
The economic stuff he was talking about was just as disconnected from reality. Trump's over there claiming the economy is completely destroyed while simultaneously saying Biden is stealing all his economic success. That's classic toxic ex behavior right there. You ruined my life, but also everything good in your life is because of me. It's like when your ex posts sad breakup songs on Instagram, but then also comments, "You're welcome" on your promotion announcement. Pick a lane, buddy. His bizarre fixation on dolls shows exactly how Trump operates when he feels like he's losing control. Instead of taking responsibility for anything that happened while he was president, he finds random things to blame. The economy isn't great? Must be those greedy little girls and their dolls. Gas prices up? Definitely not his policies. It's probably Barbie's fault with all her pink cars. But wait, it gets better. When a Wall Street Journal reporter had the audacity to identify themselves during this flight, Trump completely flipped out.
Has Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet? And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
Wall Street Journal is China-oriented, and they're really bad for this country. Go ahead.
Well, I think what happens with the plane is that, we're very disappointed that it's taking Boeing so long to build a new Air Force One. We have an Air Force One that's 40 years old. Arab countries and the planes they have parked alongside of the United States of America plane, It's like from a different planet.
He called the traditionally conservative-leaning publication rotten and an agent of China. The Wall Street Journal, that's like accusing Fox News of being too liberal. It makes zero sense. But for Trump, any criticism feels like a personal attack. It's exactly like that ex who accuses you of cheating because you liked a coworker's Facebook post about their new puppy. This attack on the media is super telling because it shows how Trump views democracy. Anyone who doesn't worship him is automatically the enemy. If you're not with him, you're against him. No room for normal criticism or, facts. That's not how democracy works. That's how cults work or toxic relationships. If you don't agree with everything I say, you clearly hate me and are cheating with China.
I wouldn't tell the Wall Street Journal because it'd be wasting my time. There are talks, but I don't want to talk to the Wall Street Journal. But look,
Equivalent, stature at the time. It's not even the same ball game. You look at some of the.
you hear what I said? It's a rotten newspaper.
Are there any updates and talks with
The Boeings that are coming in. Well, sir, they're way behind, and they are. They're way behind. They were way behind. Another mess that I inherited from Biden. And then when the election didn't exactly work out the way that it should have, a lot of work was not done on the plane because a lot of people didn't know. They made change orders that were so stupid, so ridiculous.
Looking at this Air Force One tantrum, the pattern is crystal clear. Trump acts exactly like that toxic ex we've all had to block. Deflection, wild accusations, and a complete inability to accept reality. When something goes wrong, it's never his fault. It's the dolls, or the Wall Street Journal, or China, or the deep state, or space lasers, or whatever random thing his brain latches onto that day. And just like with that unstable ex who starts with weird texts about your hoodie but ends up accusing you of being in the Illuminati, Trump's meltdown was only getting started. The doll rant was just the appetizer in this buffet of bizarre behavior. The main course was his attack on the press. And for dessert, well, let's just say his Alcatraz fantasies aren't exactly what the founding fathers had in mind. This is the guy who wants to be president again, a man who can't handle a reporter identifying themselves without having a complete meltdown, a man who blames children's toys for economic problems, a man who can't decide if the economy is terrible or if it's great because of his lingering influence. It's like giving the nuclear codes to that ex who keyed your car because you changed your Netflix password. Not exactly a comforting thought, is it? Trump's Air Force One meltdown is basically your ex drunk texting you at 2 a.m. with crazy accusations, except this ex wants nuclear codes. What kind of person flips out about dolls while flying on a taxpayer-funded plane? The Midas Touch Network wasn't wrong when they called him a disturbed individual. When someone shows you who they are, whether it's ranting about children's toys, attacking reporters for doing their job, or dreaming up prison islands, maybe it's time to block their number and move on. Will America recognize this behavior for what it is, or will we keep